We're coming back. We come to you from the Salon Privé, just adjacent to the Casino de Monte Carlo. Barry Tompkins with Michael Koenig. Down to two players now. Two players playing for the $1 million first place money. $600,000 to the runner-up. Chip count now just about 4-1 in the favor of Phil Ivey.
Paul Jackson, however, has breached that magic million chip mark. And were he to double through, we'd be looking at a real horse race here.
Well, it's such a different game. Two-handed here. On the flop, pair of jacks and a 7. Ivey still the leader with that queen-8 suited. 3 hearts out there for him. 80,000 is the bet.
And that's a pretty standard poker play, Barry. The big stack on a flop like this in an unraised pot wants to keep making tester bets. Try to find out if the little guy connected in any way. And with that kind of flop, it looks unlikely. So Phil Ivey says, okay, I've got queen high, but I'll take a stab at it. And look at this! Re-raise by Jackson.
Wow. To 170,000.
Now, I like the play because Paul Jackson is willing to get into a poker match here. He's not going to just sit around and wait to flop the nuts.
This may be the line in the sand here for Paul Jackson.
Phil Ivey, though, if he really thinks deeply about this, might be asking himself, well, now wait a minute. If this guy had a jack in his hand, would he re-raise me here? Probably not. So what the heck is he doing?
So he's thinking it, and the question is,
wow,
will he overthink it?
A re-raise!
Well, there you are. Re-raises to 320,000. It's right back in the face of Paul Jackson.
We are watching some poker here, Barry. Both guys with nothing. Phil Ivey's nothing is a little bit better than Paul Jackson's, but nobody connected with that flop, and here they are, raise, re-raise, re-raise.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, Jackson is re-raising. What the heck is going on here?
Re-raising.
Another 150,000, now it's up to 470.
Almost 1 million chips in this pot now.
This is incredible.
And you can almost hear the wheels turning in the head of Phil Ivey. Is this for real?
Right, and I'm thinking Phil Ivey has got to fold here.
Yeah.
I mean, is his opponent going to raise him twice with nothing? After Phil Ivey has shown strength?
How much do you got left? 360. 380. 360, 380.
380,000 is what Jackson finally arrives at.
Barry, let's put this in perspective. We're looking at a 1 million chip pot, and both players have nothing. We are looking at two guys bluffing with nothing. Both of them. Who's going to blink?
With 2 cards to come. I don't think he's going to blink.
I don't see how he can possibly continue in this hand. Everything Paul Jackson has done.
All in.
What?
That's why we're here and they're there.
Absolutely astonishing poker.
Not much point drinking, is there? It's a good lay down, wasn't it?
He said it was a good lay down, and he's going to do just that. And Phil Ivey is the guy who did not blink.
Watching this hand was like witnessing great art. It's absurd and wonderful at the same time. It's just mind-blowing what we just witnessed from Phil Ivey.
Oh, Michael, let's witness it one more time. Talk us through this hand. Amazing.
On the flop, neither player connected, but with his queen eye, Phil Ivey put in a little tester bet. Jackson courageously raised the big stack. Phil Ivey re-raised with a queen high. Paul Jackson re-raised him with a 6-high. Unbelievably, Phil Ivey moved all in, and Jackson surrendered.
What a hand. We're coming back. We welcome you back to the Riverbell.com Monte Carlo Millions. There is the Casino de Monte Carlo, and we are in the Salon Privé, hard by the casino itself. And if Paul Jackson just knew what just beat him, and he may not know for a while.
We will send him the videotape.
Yes. And you can see the difference now, 300 and some chips to 5 million and some chips. So Phil Ivey just will kind of wait for his moment, I suspect.
This is like a sculptor at work. Little chisel, little hammer, and you create your finished masterpiece.
Now Jackson's caught a pair of 5s, and he'll bet the 5s. Going to raise to 90,000.
Does this look familiar, Mr. Jackson?
I've seen it before.
But now, the big difference this time, Barry, is that Paul Jackson has connected on the flop, albeit a modest pair of 5s, but it sure feels a lot better than just a 6-high. However, that 10 of hearts, scary card, completes a flush and an overcard, and he lays down the best hand.
Remarkable. And maybe a little hangover effect.
Could be. Paul Jackson getting to that life support range where it's pretty much got to go all in.
All in.
Yep, and there he goes.
Yep, just like as advertised.
Oh, and he's dominated. This could be it.
Wow.
325.
325 is what there is.
Ivey has not called yet. He asked for a chip count. It's going to be very difficult for him to fold it. And he calls!
So here we go. And Paul Jackson looking the part of the beaten warrior right now. Ivey King Queen to Jackson's Queen Jack. There's $1 million at stake. 6, 9, 10 on the flop. Does give Jackson an open-ended straight draw. Deuce on a turn, so it's down to it now. Got to have an 8 or a king, and it's over, and it's over. And Phil Ivey has done what he was unable to do last year. He has defeated the 2 Europeans who opposed him at the final table. Paul Jackson will have probably his greatest payday ever of $600,000, but this was the day for Phil Ivey. $1 million to the winner. Phil Ivey completes what he couldn't complete last year. $1 million to him. Paul Jackson $600,000. Mark Goodwin finishes in 3rd place at $325,000. And Phil Ivey's done what they've tried so long to do, broken the bank at Monte Carlo.
Well, I just felt like the Monte Carlo tournament, I deserved it. Last year, I come in 3rd place. I felt like I should have won the tournament last year. So I decided this year I was going to, give it 110% and just, try to put some hands together. When you win a tournament, you feel like the best player in the world, and it was just nice to be a part of this, and just to be able to play here is just amazing.
Well, there were 112 players who showed up here in Monte Carlo trying to do what Phil Ivey just did, and that is take home a check for $1 million. That's a wrap for us. For my partner, Michael Koenig, I'm Barry Tompkins. So long, everybody.